The next thing we'll talk about is targets and appraisals. So there is always a target demanded for by your business, and it comes from the monthly requirements for break even. All right. So whether you like it or not, there is always a target. There is always a fraction of what comes in, as sales, as income into the business. There's always a fraction of it that goes to your rent, your salaries, your your payments to those who you've bought drugs from, or who you're owing, or who made supplies to you. There is security, local levies, operational permits, and all that. All the things you pay for in a year. There is always a fraction of it that goes, a fraction of his income that goes to these things, right? In order for you to breaking even means you're not making loss, you're not making profit, right? So there is always a target that goes to, there's always a part of your income that goes to these things. So you need to have a particular amount that comes in for you to settle these things and stay afloat in business, even if you're not making profit. Then now raising that target helps you get to a point where you are making profit, because in essence you need to make profit, no doubt. We don't need to overflog that issue. So that's now the target you set to yourself. Because if you don't have these targets, you are definitely going to, you are in business, you are going to work every day, and so you expect that you're doing business, but you're not doing business. So you need to set targets in order for you to be profitable. Now, you're setting targets, it's not just to set and say make 250 million a month. You also need to set targets on the activities that rep, that staff carry out based on their functions, for that will also be tailored towards the attainment of that collective goal for everybody. So you share the goals, everybody has what they will contribute towards the attainment of that goal. That's why you're the manager, that's why you're the business owner. You should know these things. Therefore, and then again, you can now measure everybody's performance in percentage, so that at the end of the month, I am able to say I did 100% of what I was asked to do, or what I'm expected to do. I even did 200% of it, right? While this other person did. And then these are the things that form the bulk of what we discuss in our appraisal meetings. So it's important that targets are set. It's also important that reports are submitted timely. And for the report, it's important that the business owner also, or the manager, designs a template for easy reporting, because reporting can be tedious, but very important, not just for the person who is expected to deliver on these targets, but for the organization to keep records, to see what strategies have worked and what is not working. What are the challenges holding us from achieving our set goals in this organization? All right. So these reports, and they need to be made and issued to the team. And these reports will be basis for the meeting for appraisals. All right. And then it's also important to incentivize the team when targets are achieved and completed. All right. And also to hear from those who are unable to achieve the target, to know those good ones who are doing exceedingly well and those who are not applying in the effort. It's also important during those meetings when the reports are presented for teams to share their story. This has a way of letting, like I said, know where the organization can come in to make some interventions, as well as helping motivate other members of the team on how they can also achieve success when they hear from their peers. So it's important to have targets and appraisals, and it's important to make things easy for the staff, the team, so that targets can be achieved and delivered, so that the business can continue to flourish. Next up, we talk about meetings and communications. So it is important to have meetings and establish channels of communications in any organization. Meetings should be periodically. People should know when next meetings are coming up, unless for emergency meetings, understandably. And meetings should be an avenue for communication, an avenue for feedback, appraisals, a moment for planning, execution, reports. It could be physical, it could be virtual. It should not be a time to pass judgments, a time to report bad news only. It should be a moment for coming together as members of a team to chart a way forward. All right, so that should be the essence of meeting. Communication should also provide an avenue for exchanging information about the plans, about the goals, about the activities of the organization, about the culture, about updates that are important, about welfare. Whenever we meet, we get to talk about the important things that matter, especially the values, the vision and mission. It's always good. Meetings are an opportunity for reminders and an opportunity for members of the team to talk about these things. It shows the organization that they understand this culture, they understand these things, this vision, they understand how it impacts on their daily activities in the organization. So get your team members to always talk about values, vision. It doesn't have to be an elaborate presentation. A 1 minute or 45 seconds brief or presentation on maybe one or two aspects of the values, of vision, or mission of the organization will do. Get your staff to be involved in other aspects of the meeting. It's not only opening prayer and closing prayer. Sometimes you can give them to talk about certain things. Okay, that way participatory activities, efforts makes for greater bonding. All right, and then stick to time. Since you are the one hosting the meeting, the business owner or the manager, your ability to stick to time tells your staff, because that's an opportunity for you to show the stuff, show some leadership skills. So your ability to keep to time slot for each item and plan duration of the meeting shows the discipline that you're trying to teach and imbibe into your team members. Okay, and then of course communicating to the staff as a part of the business, not as someone from heaven. All right, yeah, we already know you are the CEO, but when we talk about the meeting as a team and you communicate as a part of the business, as a representative of the business, that way too helps the organization understand, the staff feel a sense of being a part of the larger circle, right? So they see their place in the organization, and are always willing to work with you, and then it's like a family thing. So it's that important. So the next thing we also want to talk about is empowering your team to deliver. It is important. When we talked about recruitment, I did say that whoever you recruit, it's important to empower them. So that tells you the effort you make in your recruitment, because you definitely have to empower them to deliver, because they are employed to deliver on results. So you have to empower them. And how do you do that? You need to deliberately assign responsibilities according to the competence, according to the strength of your staff. Assign responsibilities to them, not just during meetings, but even in the organization. There are certain roles, certain activities, certain parts of an exercise that brings about some of the goals we want to achieve in the organization. It could also mean assigning this particular staff the ability to authorize discounts for certain kinds of customers. Okay, it can also involve this staff being in charge of social activities in the organization. Okay, this staff in charge of welfare activities, and these people give you reports at the end of the day. It has a way of making sure that people they see themselves as not just doing their job, but working for the organization, being a part of all that makes the organization thick. All right, so you need their creativity. You need an opportunity for them to show their creativity. You need an opportunity for them to prove themselves so that they can see themselves in that organization. All right, so you also you need to provide the tools that are necessary, the softwares, the hardwares that are required for your staff to deliver. When the staff have to do what they need to do for the organization with their own resources completely, it can discourage them, and you won't even really have the the mind to really hold them accountable. Okay, so you also need to put the tools that help them function better, as well as the tools that will limit them from falling short of grace. All right, so I put tools like time machine, IP cameras, the records they have to submit. Okay, wearing name tags that make people see that, oh, I'm talking to Grace, I'm talking to Obina. When the cameras are there, they already know that, okay, whatever they are doing, is being seen live. And then the time machine helps them know, okay, well, I came late today, I can't even forge it, it's already automatic. Suggestion boxes help customers appraise them. So these tools, help them help prevent them or put them in check from falling short of grace. And of course, you motivate your team rather than shouting at them in public. You avoid doing that so you don't demotivate them. You don't demarket your staff so that when you're not around, they can't stand boldly and speak and represent the organization very well. All right, so directors will always show direction and not just issuing directives. All right, remember, a leader shows the way for the follower to go. All right, so it's important we empower team members to deliver. And marketing and branding, like I did say earlier too, marketing is very important. So whatever you have to do to make sure that the right clientele you desire get to know about your business, you have to do it. That's what business activity is all about. All right, I did say when we're talking about targets that it's not only to achieve financial goals, you also need to achieve target marketing activities. Okay, how many clients you have to visit, how many clients you have to call today, how many clients, how many Instagram handles do you need to tell about your business, how many Port Harcourt bloggers do you need to share, this month, get them engaged to say a word or spread a word about your business. Okay, so is your business restricted to your locality? Do you need to use the internet? You need to have a social media handle, a website. How visible is your business from 100 meters distance, from a distance, when people, for your physical business? How can people see it? Is your signage obscure? Is it attractive? Is it catchy both during the day and at night? These things are very important because we're looking at marketing and branding. What is special about your staff appearance? Okay, how do they look when people come? The interior of your business. I walked into a coffee lounge, and of course, when you walk in, there is always that smell of coffee. You need nobody to tell you. That is branding. You need nobody to tell you about the fact that place is a coffee. And then you see the paintings on the wall already tell you that this place is a coffee lounge. Okay, and then when you go to maybe a children's department, you see all the kids playing cartoon characters, everywhere. You don't need anyone to tell you that this place is for children. All right, what kind of colors, arts, fragrances can someone usually associate with your business that reflects the kind of business you do? All right, so you want some kinds of clients. Do you have the provisions? Do you have the kind of things that attract those clients to your business? All right, so do you have a parking space? You want car owner customers to come in? Do you have AC in your pharmacy, your business, your company that makes people feel comfortable? Do you have waiting seats for people who have to consult you? These things are very important for your business. Keeping data and records, very important. So you must keep the records of footfalls. You need to know the number of people, the metrics for people coming in and going out. How many people are coming in? Is it increasing with this new employee you got? You need to know whether your business is really doing well. Are you making more profits, or are you making less when the footfalls have increased? You need to know this. This will help you to know when you're being shortchanged. You need to keep a diary of events, okay, so that operational mistakes, customer experiences are tabled down, they are noted, and you're making inputs and interventions to get better every day. You need to have your clients' records. Some of the records are confidential. You need to have them saved and keep them very well. And some of them are sensitive that you don't want to be asking your customer every now and then. So you can always make reference whenever they visit. Your sales records are important. You need to know how you are doing in business, your inventory. You need to know what you have and what you don't have, what is running low, what has attained reorder level. You need to know these things. Your profit and loss statement, you need to know whether you're doing well. Are you spending too much on this area? You need to cut down so that your profits can increase. Your tax records, are you a criminal? Are you paying your taxes? You need to be sure so that whenever you ask for your tax clearance, you can boldly submit them, and people will know that you're really doing serious business and a part of the society where you live. So records make your business credit worthy and sellable. Yeah, many times people want to invest in your business. They would like to see your records. They would like to see your records. If your records are not there, they don't know the level of your assets, they don't know your liabilities. So it's difficult for them to really buy your business. Okay, so it's very important that we keep these records.